her play at midnight or at 8. Her friends all said the times were finally changing. It only felt a few centuries too late. Her eyes were always deep inside a notebook. Her hands were always tuning the guitar. And while some stayed busy waiting for permission, she was on her way to be a star. But if you'd asked her if anyone had held her back, she would tell you she forgot most of their names. The losers only think about the winners. The winners only think about the game. So Millie fell in love with a civilian, or at least we know he fell in love with her. He could see how bright her light was shining. He could feel how wild her fire burned. But love has its own kind of symmetry. You have to give as much as you receive. But once you realized that he would never give her nothing, he decided it was time for him to leave. And now he likes to criticize her privately, while she simply says that neither were to blame. The losers only think about the winners. The winners only think about the game. So Millie kept on adding to the set list and working on her studio tan. And for the first time found it hard telling the difference between other friends and other fans, which left her with a special brand of emptiness that she channeled right back into the songs. She wasn't gonna ask herself the question if this is what she wanted all along. Some people said she was a genius. Some people said she was insane. But those losers only think about the winners. The winners only think about the game. Suffer any fools. She danced to her own rhythm. She wasn't playing by the rules. She was playing with them. Millie knew just when the dust was settled, when it's time to put the pencil down. On becomes a shadow, or the way it felt the first 100 times around, which left it to the critics and the experts to tell the world how Millie really felt, to somehow say she lost her competition. She was only ever having with herself. Well, some might look for meaning in the ashes. She just misses standing in the flame. The losers only think about the winners. The winners only think about the game. All the losers only think about the winners. The winners only think about the game. Quit talking to God if your prayers don't get answered, or if you don't exactly notice when they do. Quit taking the jobs that rob you of your powers so you can buy more shit you don't have time to use. Quit hanging around in this air-conditioned town where your life is lived out hunched over your phone. You're gonna have to quit everything until you find one thing you want. Quit turning to words and put it pen on paper. If it feels like you just put it black on white. Quit telling these girls your ideas about forever when you only plan to know them for the night. Quit wasting my time because pretty soon you'll find it's the only thing of value that we own. You're gonna have to quit everything till you find one thing you want. Quit filling up your glass if it's mixing and it's churning of the feelings you were trying to escape. Quit looking in the past if all you end up doing is practicing the apologies you won't make. Quit committing these sins, then absorbing them again, as if it matters when you do or when you don't. You're gonna have to quit everything until you find one thing you want. Trying to act like the world breaks into facts when life itself is swimming through your bones. Good evening, everybody. You're gonna have to quit everything until you find one thing you want. To quit everything until you find one thing you want. It's a good crowd. Grab your cigarettes and follow me out of the living room. And I'll get drunk enough to tell you how I feel about the men that you love and how they all seem to get the best of you. 'Cause if I don't say these things, you know someone will. If that look in your eyes as I slowly go through the evidence gives any sight into the void you can't get filled. Then your heart is bigger than any that I've come up against. And if nobody's loved you enough, I know now someone will. Can't stay as clear as I need it to. Oh, that my words take on the nature of a drill, to be set against the frozen sea inside of you. 'Cause if I don't tell you I'm falling in love, then someone will. Someone will, and maybe someday you'll be listening. But I could be just as you need me up on sale. The guy you say you're looking for, touch like a shine, a guy I wanna be. But if you just want someone to hold you right now, well then someone will. It's a night like this in the quieter parts of Los Angeles, when you think you see the outline of the beast up in the hills. You might be sitting beside the only person that you could face it with. But if you don't want me after tonight, someone will. I have to believe that someone will. ancient as the solar paneled hills. She was certain she could take this town by storm. The wonder of sound and light seeking a form. But somewhere along the way, dots didn't all connect. The promise became regret. Somewhere along the way, the dream and the circumstance continue their tortured dance. Somewhere along the way. She was my lullaby personified, my vision in the mist. But her contacts were all promoters and some downtown therapists. The 5 a.m.s who were friends, the parting of her lips. But I needed to witness someone wrestle with what it means to just exist. How her only plan in life was getting lost. How she took me to the edge and made me watch. Somewhere along the way, the running just lost its fun. It happens to everyone. Somewhere along the way, her trail just got too obscure. Yet that was her signature. She would talk about letting go. I guess I didn't understand. Give it over to the currents that have been there since time began. But on a long drive from El Paso to the Pacific Ocean blues, I finally felt connected to the continental drift. And somewhere along the way, I started to smile again. I don't remember when. Somewhere along the way. Things will turn out just fine. I know it's true this time. This is feeling good. We've been in this room once before, I'm pretty sure. Maybe more than once, but I think just once. And this is a special spot you guys got here in your neighborhood. So we wanted to celebrate that by pulling some songs out of the bullpen that we haven't played in a long time. Between the chemical trails in the morning and the UFOs at night, the sky becomes a canvas for my worst conspiracies. And through the storm clouds that were forming, more black and blue than white, I saw two shooting stars as the getaway car my life turned out to be. My face is pressed against the window while the traveled road lives up to the cliches, desperately just trying to hold on to something. Once you realize that the time flies either way. I confused a sense of purpose with grabbing the future by the throat, while the museum of my memories was just some blurry photographs. When I was younger, I was serious. Now everything's a joke, but my friends detect a sadness at the end of every laugh, which has left me with a tricky sense of humor. I keep getting further led astray. Every punchline takes on another dimension when you realize that the time flies either way. And at the height of this confusion. That's when your eyes met mine. I caught a small chance at salvation, staring right at me. I saw my boyhood reach conclusion. I saw a life spent at your side. I saw the permanent replacement of all the yous and I's for we. Finding out that all my proudest moments would be spent trying to put a smile on your face. And I'm letting that fact answer all of my questions. 'Cause I know now that the time flies either way. I know now that the time flies either way. All got told. The words I say can be silver, but what's left unsaid can be gold. So get to know me once I go away. Maybe 'cause I come from such an empty-hearted town. Maybe 'cause some love of mine it really let me down. But the only time that I am lonely is when others are around. I just never end up knowing what to say. If I wanted someone to greet me, if I'd find myself a mate. If I wanted someone to spend my money, I wouldn't need to get paid. If I wanted someone to understand me, I have so much more to say. I want you to make the days move easy. I took everything I thought from what it takes to be a man. We need everything this cinnamon, but we do not understand. Why you lean into the echoes and you do not raise a hand. Oh woman, help me see it like it is. If I wanted someone to meet me, if I'd find myself a mate. If I wanted someone to spend my money, I wouldn't need to get paid. If I wanted someone to understand me, I'd have so much more to say. I want you to make the days move easy. Ha! someone to clean me up, I'd find myself a mate. If I wanted someone to spend my money, I wouldn't need to get paid. If I wanted someone to understand me, I'd have so much more to say. I want you to make the days move easy. Oh, if I wanted someone to clean me up, I'd find myself a mate. If I wanted someone to spend my money, I wouldn't need to get paid. If I wanted someone to cut me down, I'd have handed you the blade. I want you to make the days move easy. I want you to make the days move easy. I want you to make the days move easy. I want you to make these days move easy. We all need something to make the days move easy. I want Dawes to help your days move easy. I want tonight to help our days move easy. I want you to make the days move easy. Took all of her money and put it where her mouth used to be. Spending anybody's ear about her friends that disappeared. Now she's sailing further out to sea. Your father's spending all of his vacations learning foreign names for all his fears. He detected from all the data he's collected. Turn out the pictures ringing in his ears. You look like one of them, but you talk like one of us. Everything they're telling you is wrong. You look She's always mortally offended by the mispronunciation of her name, telling all her newer clients that the W is silent before she sends them out the way they came. Your brother sends me all his latest poems about a secret dream of learning how to dance. He sends a note for you, asking when you're going through, so he can tell the supervisor 6 months in advance. You look like one of them, she talk like one of us. Everything they're telling you is wrong. You look like one of them, she talk like one of us. And I think you know where you belong. Old flame is still counting up his money. In a secret lair he built behind the shelf. Where he chants in repetition, maybe not into temptation. I'm pretty sure he knows the way himself. You look like one of them, but you talk like one of us. Everything they're telling you is wrong. Look like one of them, but you talk like one of us. Babe, I think you know where you belong. Of that whole day spent at the mall. 'Cause maybe a part of you didn't know you were clinging to, as if that's where the secret had taken its hold most of all. Like a feather that finds its invisible path as it falls. Just beneath the surface, there's another one talk about me? Do you stick to the memories? Or was I just another victim of the case? The one that we cold on you, the way it was bound to do. For any detective that hasn't accepted his place and still wanders the city in hope so it's showing its face. Just beneath the surface, there's another one of me. At the root of all my trouble, twitch before I speak. Thoughts and revelations, even I cannot accept. So just beneath the surface is where you will stay kept. Between the thoughtless words and the wordless thoughts, between my plottless fears and my fearless plots, between the parts of me I keep from you and the things that I'm just not, the center keeps on drifting. The music never stops. And when the singing is through, there's not much else I can do for you, which might be more than what you'd want, less than you'd expect. From a coded dream, from the final scene, where all the heroes and the villains intersect, and that lost feeling through the credits feels correct. Just beneath the surface, there's another one of her, the one I'm taking with me, the one that I prefer. After all her reasons, but right before she left, just beneath the surface is where she will stay kept. Oh, just beneath the surface. Hackensack Park. I'll tiptoe toward the gravity of the predicament we're in. I prefer leaving tomorrow, shouldn't run me in the dark, instead of facing one more tired vision of the end. But if that's the ball game, if the experiment's complete, and we both stand around to watch it all come down, at least we get a front row seat. I got good at changing subjects nearly everywhere I went, till all my conversations all got too good to be true. This world can wax poetic and not hear born toxic events, while I'll take the time that's left me and I will give it all to you. Cause if that's the ball game, if the experiment's complete, then we both stand around to watch it all come down. At least we got a front row seat. it's true that it's a curse to live in interesting times, then why do I get butterflies as I peek over the ledge? You bring some popcorn, I'll bring some wine. Just don't pay for the whole sea if all you needed was the edge. 'Cause if that's the ball game, if the experiment's complete, and we both stand around to watch it all burn down, at least we got a front row seat. At least we got a front row seat. At least we got a front row seat. Because I feel closer to you than I did when the night started, and I feel like that's the whole idea. For us to feel like we all have some common ground. We see the world in a lot of the same ways we didn't realize. With his back against the San Francisco traffic, on the bridge's side that faces towards the jail, setting out to join a demographic, he hoists his first leg up over the rail. Then a phone call's made and police cars show up quickly, and the sergeant slams his passenger door. He says, "Hey kid, why don't you talk through this with me? Just tell me what you're doing it for." Oh, it's a little bit of everything. It's the mountains, it's the fog, it's the news at 6 o'clock. It's the death of my first dog. It's the angels up above me. It's a song that they don't sing. It's a little bit of everything. There's an older man that stands in a buffet line. He's smiling and he's holding out his plate. And the further that he looks back into his timeline, that hard road always led him to today. He's making up for when his bright future just left him. He's making up for the fact his only son is gone, and letting everything out once his server asks him, "Have you figured out yet what it is you want?" I think I'll have a little bit of everything, the biscuits and the beans, whatever helps me to forget about these things that brought me to my knees. So pile on those mashed potatoes, and how about an extra chicken wing? 'Cause I'll be having a little bit of everything. Somewhere a pretty girl is writing invitations for her wedding that she has scheduled for the fall. Her man walks in and says, "Baby, can I make one quick observation? You don't seem to be having any fun at all." She says, "Well, you could just worry about your groomsmen and your shirt size. And rest assured, this is making me feel good. I think that love is so much easier than we realize. If you can give yourself to someone, then you should. 'Cause it's a little bit of everything. The way you laugh, the way you ache. It's getting up way before you, so I can just watch you as you wake. So on that day in late September, it's not just some stupid fucking ring. I'll be getting a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of everything. It's the matador and the bull. It's the suggested daily dosage. It's the red moon when it's full. All these psychics and these doctors, they're all right and they're all wrong. It's like trying to make out every word when they should simply hum along. It's not some message written in the dark or some truth that no one's seen. It's just a little bit of everything. Group's gonna sing one for us now. We're actually gonna go on a little duo tour later on this year. And so far, this is like one of the 3 songs we know for sure that would work. Never got angry enough to be funny. Never stopped caring enough to be cool. Haven't been broken enough to feel holy. Never loved someone enough to be cruel. Never been hungry enough to get cracking. Haven't quite fallen enough to atone. Never could cry hard enough to start laughing. Never stopped moving enough to be home. But it's not like I'm keeping score. Only when I feel unsteady. Am I getting a little more? Or have I had enough already? Enough already. I haven't cleared enough of my records. I haven't covered enough of my tracks. I haven't cashed in enough of my winnings. I haven't tried on enough of my acts.
but I've always failed enough to keep trying. I've always worked enough to get by. I've always felt enough hope in the mornings to help me wrestle the demons at night. But it's not like I'm keeping score. Only when I feel unsteady. Am I getting a little more? Or have I had enough already? And enough already. Already. Maybe I said enough to stay quiet. Maybe I should enough to sit back. Maybe I've told enough lies to be honest. Let someone else try and mount the attack. Or maybe I could just ask for help, since I'm living in the land of plenty. And yet still hoping for something else. When I know I've had enough already.
Get the boys back up here. Standing right outside the echo, we're still just cutting teeth, turning madness into waveforms, searching chords for what's beneath. All these existential freshmen, just trying to keep our noses clean. Scared to show our faith in the ghost of the machine. Standing right outside the echo, we were working for the door, assuming all our dreams were brighter than these bands we play before. But you could see it in their hunger, yeah, you could hear it in their screams. They too were just trying to make contact with a ghost in the machine. All the build-ups and the breakdown, through the booms and through the crash, building stockpiles of excuses on how to trade it in for cash. All the poisonous motel rooms, the lobby call at 6:15. 1 million miles upon a highway for the ghost in the machine. All the doubts and hesitations I built up in my early years are under reconsideration for the music of the spheres. Wish I could not deny any longer when every night I reconvene with these vibrations giving proof of the ghost in the machine. The ghost in the machine. The ghost in the machine. I went to see your healer with that mic strapped to his face. Talked about which habits to surrender and which habits to embrace. And for the next few days or so, I was feeling pretty good, but it didn't fix me. I even started volunteering with the local Sacred Heart. We feed the homeless on some weekends. We pick up trash at all the parks. Even though we're cleaning up the whole damn neighborhood, it didn't fix me. Didn't fix me like I thought it would. I got that book you recommended about a spy in East Berlin. I really like the way it ended, how he forgives his friends who turn him in. And I think I see what you were saying about how technically it should, but it didn't fix me. It didn't fix me like I thought it would. Fix me. Didn't fix me. Finally got a nomination for one of those awards that I don't need, but I say that out of obligation. I really spent hours on my speech. I thank my biggest inspirations and the good folks back in Hollywood, but it didn't fix me. Didn't fix me like I thought it would. Didn't fix me. finally found someone that loves me, and to her will be true. She sees the ways in which I'm lovely, loves me for those reasons too. And even though I'm feeling stronger than I ever thought I could, still it didn't fix me. Didn't fix me. Didn't fix me like I thought it would. Didn't fix me. Didn't fix me. Didn't fix me.
One, two, one, two, three.
In a beach town and never learns to surf. Sounds like the perfect distillation of my time spent here on earth. But I've stared at the horizon with both feet in the sand. The thing I love about the ocean, comes in waves, comes in waves. I've been feeling like a light bulb when the filament won't glow, surrounded by a darkness because the current's moving slow. Am I losing my intensity? Is there a feeling here to stay? But that's the thing about electricity. It comes in waves. Face too long, they're gonna do each other's jobs. Sometimes the silences are holy, sometimes they're drifting in space. But if the spirit's moving through me, it comes in waves.
It comes in waves.
I think their grip is getting looser. I think they're giving us a try. But if you feel good about the future, then buddy, so do I. So it's time for nothing all our enemies while we're popping the champagne. 'Cause that's the thing about a victory. It comes in waves.
It comes in
of dreams I was offered to save. I lived less like a workhorse, more like a slave. I thought that one quick moment that was noble or brave would be worth the most of my life. So I pointed my fingers, shot a few quotes I knew, as if something that's written should be taken as true. But every path that I've taken, or conclusion I drew, will put truth back under the knife. And now the only piece of advice that continues to help is anyone that's making anything new only break something else. When my time comes, when my time comes. Successes with all my defeats, and if heaven was all that was promised to me, why don't I pray for death? Cause now it seems like the unraveling started too soon, and now I'm sleeping in hallways, drinking perfume, speaking to mirrors, counting the moons, while the worse and worse that it gets. Oh, you can judge the whole world on the sparkle that you think it lacks. You can stare into the abyss, but it's staring right back. When my time comes, song's for her, the song's for you. She drives and hot French fries and friends around the country, from Charlottesville to good old Santa Fe. When I think of you, you still got on that hat that says let's party. I hope that thing is never thrown away. I hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope the brothers El Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. Waking up and I'm not thinking clearly, so don't quote me. With one eye open I'm writing you this song. Ain't it funny how some people pop into your head so easily? 'Cause I haven't seen you in there for so long. I hope the life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your brothers El Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. Without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your brothers El Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. Oh, may all your favorite bands stay together. Thank you all so much. It's a pleasure being with you. We'll see you down the road. We're good for one more if you are. was in opposition. Find out which was to the glare. You could polish up your prisons, send all your critics there. You seem willing and able, and used to get in your way, but you're still waiting tables at someone else's cafe. Someone else's cafe. You can make them call you Beelzebub if it rallies up the troops. The Simmons and the Diva. Lace up your combat boots. You seem willing and able in your stupid beret, but you're still waiting tables at someone else's cafe. Someone else's cafe. Make them call you cheap. Make some face paint out of baby blood. Wear a necklace made of teeth. You been living a fable in your one-man parade, but you're still waiting tables at someone else's cafe. From the cradle to a dead embrace, we're all waiting tables at someone else's cafe. Someone else's cafe. So let's enjoy each other's company on the brink of despair. Does someone have a song to sing or a joke that they can share? Let's enjoy each other's company on the brink of our despair. Someone have a song to sing or a joke that they can share. So let's enjoy each other's company on the brink of our despair. Does someone have a song to sing or a joke that they can share? Let's enjoy each other's company on the brink of our despair. The sun